Hi there, welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel I'm attempting to cash budget my way out of debt and fix several years of financial misbehaviour. And if that's something you're interested in following along with, please don't forget to stick around and check out the other content I've created for you on this channel. Now, thank you so much for tuning into my unusual, rather difficult Monday video. And following on from that, I said that I wanted to move to regular uploads, which was Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursday. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So here is your Wednesday video. And thank you to everyone who commented and everyone who reached out. It means a lot. I don't ever put videos out like that for feedback and response. They're just out because actually, as I know that as a viewer and a consumer of YouTube myself, if a channel that I was fond of and I put time into, particularly those of you that are balancing several things and family life and don't have a lot of time, if I'd invested my time into a channel and the person dropped off and then all of a sudden came back and acted like everything was fine, I would go, okay. So I'm back. Not with a budget, still working on the budget. It's going to be a long-ish process for me because it's taking my brain a little bit longer to just engage and make decisions and look at things. And talking of something which is, Kat, are you here or are you not here? Look, come here. Come here. I've literally just started recording. Are you that attention hungry? Hang on, guys. Star of the show here. Come here. Come on. Hi. Come here. I'm trying to record a video and oh, okay. I mean, my viewer count has just disappeared massively. People are literally just falling off right now. But hey ho, you do you, Kat. I'm gonna scoop you up. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me, guys, while I introduce you to the main man. He wants dinner. So we may be interrupted, but thanks for however long that interlude was. Yes. Talking of the thing that has massively increased my budget, which is the cat, and spending decisions and things like this, I have always had multiple forms of income. In fact, most of 2023 I had definitely from February to September, I was getting money in from different sources to pay my bills. And with the solo kind of wage coming in, I am comfortable having more than one income stream. I feel a little bit more secure having more than one income stream. And I also suffer massively from the problem of have an idea, this will make an amazing business, invest in the stuff to do the things, and then not touch it. And I'm now at the point where I need to get the more than one income stream in. And that is because realistically, the £2,000 a month that I bring in and will bring in for definitely, I think, the next couple of years as a regular income, allows me to either save or pay off debt and make decent-ish headway on one of the other. It doesn't allow for, building up the funds that I need to do a thing, to make a lump sum payment to debt, to have and build an emergency fund at the same time, to increase the debt snowball, to cover him if he has another issue, to build up the 5k binder, to work on the savings challenges that I want to work on because I like them. I find them really engaging and creative, and I don't have enough money in my budget to consistently work on them and build that little dopamine buzz. But what I have done through the teacher training, and I am in March now and I finished training at the end of June, so I'm well over halfway and nearly at the finish line. What I have done is secured the income to pay my bills and to feed myself and the cat and get meds for the cat and give myself a little bit of spending money and give myself that security that I was lacking for most of last year. But the aforementioned would like to save, would like to work a more aggressive debt snowball, would like to be able to, if I smash my phone, just go ahead and replace it. Because the money's there, because my contract's not up until the November, that kind of situation that I'm in now, not be waiting for a student loan payment to come in next month, things like that. To put a little bit away each month for Christmas, to regularly kind of build up those savings muscles, because it is a muscle, and it's mentally a muscle, exercising kind of the financial knowledge that you have in your brain and acting on it each month and building that routine, and then also getting into the habit and enjoying it. And that's where the savings challenges can be really helpful, and along with kind of debt snowball trackers and things like that. And I have, like I've said, done and created and thought of and invested in lots of things that can earn me money. A lot of these things I still have, and that's what I want to talk about in a really long, rambly, very unstructured way, because of getting just back into the flow of things. So thanks for sticking with me for 6 minutes. What am I going to do, and how am I going to do it without immediately going, oh, I need to jump on everything and do it right now? Because I want that. I want to start the thing. I've had the idea. Let's do. And then times that speed by about 100, and that's my brain. Basically, it doesn't switch off. It's a thing. It's a neurodivergent thing, which doesn't help. But I've narrowed it down, and this has been part of me just trying to work through. This is my bullet journal, and I don't do bullet journaling on the channel because this is mine for me, but every so often I'll do something which I'll share. And I've realised that obviously writing this is quite pale writing down here, that if you can read it, brilliant, well done you. If not, I'll read it out to you. Because there's 5 things that I could immediately start if I was absolutely mad and had 8 hands and 2 brains and unlimited time and didn't need to eat, sleep, and do anything else, that I could immediately start to generate an income, or at the very least continue with. And now I'm at the point where, okay, right, these are the 5 things. There is no room for any other new ideas or any other new things until you've got them going. So how now do you introduce them? And then also, what's the best way to do that? So I have my YouTube. I am monetized on YouTube. There are periods of the year where the ad revenue is fantastic, and I don't need to do a lot in terms of releasing content to meet the payout threshold for month-on-month basis. There are some times of the year, however, when the ad revenues are down, and if I'm not consistent and I don't release videos, obviously that doesn't help. But actually, I may go 2 or 3 months without a YouTube payment. It very much just depends, but I have that as a form of income. I can certainly do my bit to push towards trying to, even at least if I hit the minimum monthly payout threshold, and 3 to 4, although I have settled on 3 since I've written this, videos a week should, on paper, providing there's no massive drop in ad revenue, mean that I will meet certainly the minimum payout threshold, maybe a little bit more on YouTube. And that's, £60 to £120. And it's a nice thing to have come in normally the last week, beginning of the last week of the month, right when you're sat there thumbing through the envelopes going, is there anything left? Nice time to come in. But I need to put the work into that. And this is why actually regularly coming in and going, I know you're tired, Nicole. I know you're knackered. I know you've still got this to do. I know you want to eat dinner. I know there's X, Y, and Z, but carve out this 20 to 30 minutes, not even that, to do this, because actually it helps. It's going to keep me on track. It's going to keep my brain thinking about the bigger purpose of this rather than just that. So actually, a Monday, Wednesday, Friday release, 10 to 20 minutes, but realistically I probably sit between 20 and 30. Stop scratching my Kallax cubes, cat. And you know what, maybe make a Friday a live and have like a Finance Friday live where we talk about anything that's in my brain. Maybe. Realistically, this week it's going to be a live because I don't have a budget available to release a video on. And that's something that's already set up and established. I've reached that monetization threshold. I have you wonderful, lovely lot, as I call you, because you are all a lovely lot. And you graciously give me your time. And then at the end of the month, if I've done what I've said I would, which is release 3 videos a week, I should get a little bit of money for that. Let's just be really blunt. That's kind of how it works. The second one, this is out of order up here, but officially the second one is re-establishing the costume business that I used to run in some form. Now, I have done videos on this before. This is, if you're a regular viewer of my videos and of this channel, this is not something which is unknown to you. What I have been fighting up until this point is returning the business to Etsy, and that's because trying to run the business in the format that it was at that particular time, Etsy was the wrong platform for trying to run a business in that way. However, there are decisions. Anyone who's worked in business knows that actually if they had to restart again, what would they do differently? What choices would they make? What products would they offer? Everyone who has ever run a business, even those of you who sell your cash envelopes on Etsy or anything like that, I think if the question were posed to you, the whole thing was closed down and you had to immediately start again, what would you do differently? I think everyone has an answer to that. That's a natural thing. And I am now in this position where I am going to restart. Etsy is, if I take the business part-time and in a much more controlled way, Etsy is the ideal platform for the products that I create and sell. I don't have the time or the energy or the knowledge to create my own website and drive SEO and work on the marketing and pump those hours in to try and generate that turnaround. Equally, eBay is far too generalist, and people at the very least go to Etsy for things that are handmade or vintage or slightly unique and unusual. I have the stock. I might need to spend £20 or £30 a month for core components, but the things that are going to cost me the most amount of money, I've got in spades. And if I consider the fact that I completely closed down the Etsy account, with all of that feedback and all of that contact information, I completely closed the business. I would be restarting and potentially be facing, for any sales that I make, a payment hold of 45 to 90 days. Well, actually, do you know what? My funds, my earnings being released kind of 90 days from now, when I don't have a set income in July or August, was not a bad thing. But I need to turn that around, and I need to start building that stock up and building the stock and stocking the shop and getting the photographs done. But that's something that I can start. It's something I'm familiar with, and I have still, despite everything that's gone on, managed to keep on top of my schoolwork, my assignments, my PGCE, my lesson plans, my resources. I've had to drop other things like this, but I've kept on top of it. And I keep on top of it during the holidays, the half terms, and Christmas, because actually that's my time for me. If I have to take holiday and I have to be off in this time, I don't want to be doing schoolwork. I fully accept, teachers, in my comments, that may not be the case going forward, but I'm going to treasure it while it lasts. But I need to take that time, and I actually need to walk the walk, not just talk the talk, and make the stock up and return to Etsy and actually look at it and go, the platform itself is not perfect. If you sell on Etsy, I don't need to tell you that it has its issues. However, essentially getting a chance to restart and make the changes that when I was running as a business on Etsy, I wish I had done this, and my life would have been so much easier if I had when I started as a completely green individual in the world of kind of third-party marketplace e-commerce selling. I get to take that time. So things like no commissions. I won't be taking commissions on again. I don't have the time to do that. And returning to Etsy and making the most of what the platform has to offer. And if it means that, I'm sat at my sewing machine for a month, that's fine. I don't mind being sat at a sewing machine for a month, that's fine. And things like, I used to say no commissions, but then I would make adjustments to stuff that I'd ready to wear, or I'd add things in, all of that. Just no, like, what I have is what I have. And if I sell through an item, then it has to wait to be restocked. That is where that's going. Number 3 and number 4 and number 5. Budgeting supplies, planners and stationery, and jewellery. I have things because I'm a card craft maker, I'm a maker active thing. You've seen me create and cover things like my Christmas binders, my little, I don't have it up here to hand, but my, just wait for the train, my little A7 binder, which I've wrapped around. I've made the binders like this. I can make budgeting supplies. I can make savings challenges. I can make little personalised things. I can design and create and build planners and stationery. I love planners and stationery, and I love budgeting supplies, and I have to stop myself and from going out and buying lots of things from budgeting other budgeting people. I never wanted to, and don't really want to, monetize my subscriber base, because that's not fair, because we are budgeters. We're in the budgeting community. We are here to look for financial advice and support and reach out to each other, and I don't want to assume. Like, for me, it's enough that actually, and weird that you guys are watching my videos and therefore I'm getting money because you're giving me your time and you're watching my videos through YouTube. Like, that's it. To me, that's fair. That's fine. That's okay. But because I can create these things, and because I can set things up, and because I am familiar with how e-commerce websites work, and because I know that actually the amount of work to market something like a budgeting material, budgeting supply, or planners and stationery type thing, because I have a subscriber base and therefore you have a built-in audience and you're not reaching out into the cold, I know that it won't take much to set up a website offering those things and those services and market to you guys. It's something that I need to write down because I have the tools, I have the materials, I have the knowledge, I have the ability to do so. I'll have the time come the summer. So I need to write it down. It's not the first thing on my list, but I am not ruling out, if not another budget expands in the way that I kind of deep inside wanted to expand to, I'm not ruling that out in the future. But it's down. Right now, the two things that are, can I pick this up and do this in the next 3 to 4 months? YouTube and costumes, yes. If in potentially a 12-month time frame, 6 to 12 months, budgeting, planners, stationery, I start producing things, designing things, showing you things, saying, does anyone want to road test this for nothing? Yeah, that is there. I like being honest. I am probably far too honest and far too open. From a purely business-based concept, there we go. There it is. And the jewellery is something that I've always had an interest in. I've always been tinkering. I've always pieced things together and I've cannibalised different things and built them up. And the type of jewellery and the crystal wrapped stuff and the wire wrap things that I do ties in really well with the costume stuff, because it's that kind of fantasy, alternative, Gothica, LARP, Renaissance, all of those kind of cosplay costume buzzwords. That ties in really, really well. But it's my weakest skill. But I have the tools, I have the supplies, and I certainly is something that actually, if I were to dedicate a few hours to in an evening, I could pick that up quite quickly. And it's a natural partner to building up to the costumes and building up the store that side. It feels really weird to come on and be like, just letting you know, there may be budgeting things coming in the future. No obligation to buy, but a review would be nice if I gave you something for free. That would be nice. I'm not there yet. And that would be the website side, because the marketing and the organising and the pulling together and the photography for stationery is so much easier than that for costumes. Please believe me. Oh my gosh. My marketing budget for listing photos for costumes was horrendous. The amount of favours I called in from models and the amount of freebies I had to give away to hairstylists and makeup artists, and it was mad. It was absolutely mad. Completely different. But as I said, it was in my head. You've got all of these things. There's all these things that you can do, like get an income, get an income, get an income. I can't dive into all of them straight away. I just can't. I don't have that time. I don't have that bandwidth. And I have to reasonably look around and go, actually, with what is taking up space as well. Like the budgeting and the planners and the stationery and the jewelry stuff is like a drawer, or it's a Kallax cube, or 2 or 3 or 4 Kallax cubes, as opposed to the 19 110 litre storage boxes of fabric and notions in the garage. Actually, no, that's just fabric. That's not the notions and the thread and everything else. And all of that stuff needs to shift and it needs to go. Because again, not helping my mental health and not helping my space, because there's a lot of things there. Could I sell my stock supplies and get a little bit of money for them? Yes. Could I make something up and probably get 5 times the amount? Yes. I'm going to go for 5 times the amount. I don't know where this is going to come into videos again, but it felt like a natural next follow-up video to do. I've been emptying my mind onto a page. Here's what this page produces. It's linked to budgeting. And unfortunately, I need more than one income stream, because in the area that I live, £2,000 a month, when it's just you that's got to look after everything, and it's a really high, and I live in a high cost of living area, I acknowledge that, it doesn't leave me a lot. And I know the moment I've paid off my debts, I'm going to have, that's slightly different, but this is now. So I can either rest on my laurels and I can sit and tread water and pay my minimums. And if I'm lucky, maybe sell a little bit on Vinted and get an extra 50 to 100 in and maybe save that and still be here 3 or 4 years down the line, not making much progress. Or I can be really brutally honest about what I need to do and how I need to do it and what it may need and what it may do and all of the things like that, and go, yeah, this is what I need to do. The priority is always going to be making sure that I don't impact on my teaching, because that's this is rubbish if I don't. Need to look after my teaching first, because that's my main wage. And for the next 2 years, I'm still kind of an early careers teacher, and it's essentially a 2-year induction, which is stress I don't need. But I do still need to bring this in. So how am I going to spend that time, and how am I going to spend it wisely, and how am I going to do it so I don't overload myself, and how do I slowly pick up those plates that I've had to let fall? Something to ponder on. If you guys have got any thoughts, let me know down in the comments below. I am going to go feed the cat because he's been an absolute pain off camera during this video. And I need to feed myself as well. This is going to be up later on tonight. Think like an 8:30. I'll be back with a live on Friday. I will set the link up on tomorrow. And I'll also pop something in the community post as well, just so you guys know what time. But if you'd like to join me for a beverage of your choice on Friday, and we can talk about anything and anything that either pops into my brain or yours, you are welcome to join me. I tend to go for about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, but I would love to see you and have you there in the chat as well. Or even if you just want to lurk and observe, that's completely fine. I am going to love you and leave you. Have a wonderful budgeting week wherever you are in the world. I hope that's not been too rambly and it all makes sense. Yeah, see you in a couple of days. Bye-bye for now.